Apparently, the Chicago Bears have a top 10 roster in the NFL, and they have a better roster flat out than the Green Bay Packers. Let me explain what is going on, y'all. Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL, here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to talk about the Bears roster being ranked above the Packers and being ranked as a top 10 roster in football. All right, so this is coming from Pro Football Network, okay? They did this article, which I thought was very interesting, in which they basically ranked every single roster in the NFL, but with one exception, the quarterback. So they excluded quarterback from the list and went ahead and ranked the rosters. Now, you might be thinking, Faiz, what the heck's the point of this, right? I thought it was interesting because, look, we know how top-heavy quarterback is. And so, you know, a team like, for example, the Buffalo Bills, right? They lost a lot of talent this offseason, but nobody's worried because they have Josh Allen, right? That's how much the quarterback matters. But I thought it was just fun. It's like, hey, what would the Chiefs roster look like without Patrick Mahomes? Bills without Josh Allen, right? So they went ahead and listed all of the teams and ranked them accordingly. Well, guess where the Bears came in on that list? So this is excluding Caleb Williams and what you think he will be or how good you think he will be. So taking Caleb Williams out, but you still have, you know, all the receivers, you have all of the tight ends, you have all the offensive line, defensive line, the defense, all the weapons. They came in at 7th. Yep, they came in at 7th on the list. So let me go ahead and show you guys here what they said about the Bears. And they basically said the following. The Bears roster strength is wide receiver. Williams is walking into a luxurious Bears offensive environment with no real weaknesses. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and first-round pick Rome Odunze form one of the NFL's best wide receiver trios. Williams has the best weapons of any quarterback drafted first overall over the past 15 years. And then the roster weakness, edge. Montez Sweat bolstered the Bears pass rush after joining the club last October, posting 6 sacks in 9 games. Chicago rarely blitzes, so it needs another edge rusher capable of winning one-on-one matchups. DeMarcus Walker appears likely to hold on to the starting job unless the Bears make a late free agent addition. So I agree with the weakness being edge and the strength being receiver. You got no issues there. But just take a look at where they have the Bears ranked. Number 7. All right, here are the teams ranked ahead of the Bears. Number 6, they have the Dolphins. Number 5, they've got the Chiefs. Again, this is without the quarterback. Number 4, they've got the Jets. Number 3, they've got the Lions. Number 2, they've got the Browns. And number 1, the 49ers. Okay? The Packers are listed all the way back at number 11. Okay? They're listed at number 11 with their roster strength being listed as their offensive line, which I agree with, and their weakness at cornerback. So, to me, look, folks, I don't think that this is, you know, that crazy to think about because the Packers roster, honestly, does not have a lot, I would say, outside of the trenches. And, you know, the trenches are very important for sure. Their offensive line is great, and their defensive line is solid. But they don't have any weapons for Jordan Love. They haven't surrounded Jordan Love with much. Now, credit to Jordan Love. He was still able to put up the numbers that he did, but that's with him obviously being in that system for so long and developing in that system. So the Packers, credit to them. They're great at developing quarterbacks. But it's not a hot take to me to say the Bears roster is better than the Packers. This is not who's the better team. These are not team rankings. This is roster rankings. If you're talking about team rankings, those are like the power rankings, right? Which teams are those? So I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a second. If I were just to talk about the roster, which rosters am I taking over the Bears? And there's not that many, okay? If you take away the quarterback, which rosters are you taking over the Bears? I'm taking the 49ers roster. I'm taking the Eagles roster. Probably taking the Texans roster, the Bengals. I'm probably taking the Browns, the Ravens, Chiefs, you know, maybe the Dolphins. So what is that? 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm at like 9. So it's a top 10 roster overall, folks. On paper, it's a top 10 roster. How many teams are you taking over the Bears roster right now with all the Bears weapons, with all the running backs, receivers, tight ends, with their offensive line, with their D-line, with their cornerbacks, with their safeties. How many teams are you taking? I can't get more than 8, 9. Honestly, I'm taking the Bears roster over the Bills, over the Packers, over the Steelers, over the Jaguars, over the Chargers, just to give an example. I'm doing it. I'm sorry. It's a testament to Ryan Poles for putting together an incredible roster. Now, again, they still have to perform. This is all on paper. We don't really get to see much until the game starts in September. But on paper, it's a top 10 roster in football. Top 10 roster in football, folks. How many teams are you taking over the Bears? How many rosters are you taking over the Bears roster? Not that many, man. Can't get past 10. So, honestly, not that crazy. I saw the article and I'm like, hey, 7? That's insane, but it really isn't. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.